Look, guys, when you try to argue once saved, always saved from Greek grammar, it's not there. And I'm not even a Greek expert. But look, no one in the early church defended that you couldn't lose your salvation because of words like apostasy or if and departing from the faith. Now, if you're convicted to believe that you can't lose your salvation, I think that's a derivative of Calvinistic sort of hermeneutics, which I don't think is correct. But maybe people didn't realize, actually, you know what? You're totally eternally secure once you're saved. No, I think the Bible's full of conditionality. And so once saved, always saved is not being taught in the New Testament. I think that's a theological conclusion based on certain presuppositions that derive from a Calvinistic reading, which I don't think is correct. So I always find it funny when non-Calvinists hate. I get why you hate Calvinism, but that's where this idea comes from: eternal security, perseverance of the saints. Now, I do believe in assurance, and that Christians should have it, and that if you're a believer, you are secure. But nowhere in the Bible does it say you can stop being a believer and you're fine. Maybe God has mercy on people who have circumstances where they lose their faith, and maybe some of those people will be saved. Even if I grant that, which, okay, I grant that, the text doesn't say you can stop believing and still be saved. It doesn't teach that. It's not in there. It's the active, ongoing, believing ones who are saved. And it says someone who is a non-believer, doesn't specify whether they had believed, but a non-believer. And think about the evangelism of that. Are you going to tell people, oh, well, so long as you just believed one time? This is outrageous, and this is why I don't believe once saved, always saved. Because the call of the gospel is to have faith and to remain in the faith. Just read 1 Corinthians 15, 1-2. It's crystal clear. So look, we shouldn't tell people you can stop believing. Even if it's possibly true that someone could stop believing and still be saved, that would be an exception and not the rule. The idealistic statement of Scripture is that you must continue. He who endures to the end shall be saved. And I'm aware of the way people try to get out of that. But it is salvific, if you look at the context. Let's not tell people they don't have to keep believing. That is not what the New Testament teaches. You have to remain. You have to abide. That's what it means. Jesus says as much in John 15. Let's not obscure the words of Jesus just because we have pastoral concerns about people and their assurance. People who